Welcome back to another episode of the Miami Heat Roundtable. I'm your host, Amir. Very excited about today's episode because we have another special guest joining the show. We have the Miami Heat's very own Drew Smith. Thanks for being here today, Drew.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having me, guys. Looking forward to it.
We are too. Thanks again. So, Drew, we know your season last year was cut short, unfortunately, and you were off to a good start. You were playing in 9 of the first 15 games as the Miami Heat's backup point guard. You were shooting 41% from three, which was great. And my question to you is, how's the recovery process been so far? I know it's been 8 or 9 months since the injury. So
Yeah.
how has that been going? Like, are you going to be ready for training camp, hopefully in September? And then also, in terms of your role next season, what are your expectations for that?
Yeah, for sure. So as far as the injury goes, honestly, it's been a long road. I feel like I was injured, I think the day before Thanksgiving. So I did a month of like pre-op rehab type stuff, before I did surgery. So now I'm 8 months post surgery, here in a few days. So, it's been a long road. But I got back on the court today, kind of like with my first live stuff. So it's been good. I mean, it's been coming along as well as I could hope for, I think. A little ahead of schedule. And yeah, that's the goal, is to hopefully be maybe not fully cleared, but, able to participate in most of training camp. Probably still be heavily monitored and stuff, but yeah, that's the goal. Just trying to get out there and get back to it. And then as far as my role for this season coming up, honestly, I have no idea. I have no clue what it's going to look like exactly. I just want to. My goal is to just be healthy, and to be available. And then when that time does come, just be ready to step in and hopefully have an impact again.
Drew, so what is it like, playing with Jimmy and Bam? Bam Adebayo, he had a pretty good offseason, like in the Olympics. He's averaging 20 and 10. He's an Olympian. And to me, the best defender within the NBA. Same thing with Jimmy Butler, like one of the best two-way players we've seen, playoff Jimmy. So what is it like playing with two of those guys?
I think it's just cool to just be around those guys, to get to see how they work, to get to see the time that they put in, and then just see how it translates for them out there on the court. Like you said, I think those are two of the best two-way players in the league. Um, and Bam at his position, I think he guards, better than anybody at the center position. So it's definitely really cool. Obviously, it's great whenever you're out there with them. They make the game very easy. Just try to get them the ball in their spots where they need it, and they'll do the rest. So it's definitely been great to play with them, and looking forward to hopefully being able to do that again this year.
Sounds good. So, Drew, I have a quick question. I know you're in the process of recovery and fully not there yet, but you'll be there eventually. And during the off season, what's type of stuff did you want to like work on your game, like to improve on? Like, everybody has a specific role, right?
Yeah.
You can look at players like Lou Dort who come in there and has working on his shot, but great defensively. So everybody is not known as that scorer, but like, what do you want to bring to this Miami Heat team as playing available backup point guard, or whatever you are, to not whatever, but like help an asset to this team, stuff like that. So like, is that the backup point guard, or is it your shooting, playmaking, better on defensively? Like, where do you want to improve on more, especially during this season?
Yeah, I think, I've had a lot of time off, honestly. So, we focused a lot on my shot. Like Amir had said earlier, I was shooting it fairly well to start the season. Obviously, it was a pretty small sample size, but still, just little things, little minor details. You're not going to completely change somebody's shot at this point in their career, but, just adding a little bit of arc, trying to get it off a little quicker. And then I always want to just work on being able to shoot it a little better off the bounce. Especially as someone who's not as well known in the league, guys are always going to go under screens, and you're going to have those little pockets and those little opportunities to get clean looks off. So just making sure that I'm ready to knock those down, and then also, yeah, just becoming a better playmaker. Just I think that just comes with time. The more that you're in the game, the more that you're in the league, you start to see the game a little differently. So that was one thing that I mean, it sucks to be hurt, but I was still able to be around the team and be able to watch and be in the film sessions and everything. So just continuing to learn, continuing to make sure that whenever it is time to step back in, that I'll be able to hopefully make plays. And yeah, like I said, continue to just improve on my shot really more than anything.
Nice. So I don't want to focus on the injury piece, obviously, but we know you just signed a two-way contract with the
Yeah.
Heat. So congrats on that,
Thank
obviously.
you. Yeah, I appreciate
Um,
it.
what kind of confidence do you have where you're injured? You got this new contract, so you have another opportunity with the Miami Heat, which is awesome. But also, what's it like having the confidence from Spo, one of the best coaches, if not the best coach, and just the coach that NBA players said would want to play with the most, and also Andy Ellsberg, one of the best VPs of operations in basketball. Like both those guys, like are in your corner. So like, how much confidence does that give you, like for your career and just in general moving forward?
Yeah, I think it does give me a lot of confidence, and I'm very appreciative just of how this organization has treated me, and like you said, how it feels like everybody's kind of been in my corner. Obviously, it was very unfortunate what happened last year, but yeah, I think stepping back in and getting another opportunity, it definitely allows me to come in with a little bit of confidence, just knowing that they're willing to bring me back, willing to see this through. And so yeah, I'm just trying to be ready for any opportunity, and just understanding that it's likely to come. There's always crazy things that happen during the season. So as UD would always say, you just got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So making sure that when those opportunities come, that you're able to step in there and seamlessly flow back into the game. And I think that's kind of how you build that trust with the coaching staff. Just whenever they feel like they can trust you when you go in there, and you're not gonna go out there and you're not trying to prove yourself. You're just trying to play the game the right way.
So speaking of the organization, what is Heat culture like? How can you explain, to other people who are not Miami Heat fans, like what's Heat culture like? I know a lot of people, want to say that we're the most conditioning, but we all know that I'm sure that there's a lot more to that. So, how can you explain Heat culture to other people that are not Miami Heat fans?
Man, I think the best way to explain it is just you have to be willing to outwork everybody. There's plenty of days. The season is long. There's plenty of days where you don't feel like coming in. You don't feel like being locked in a walkthrough or during a shoot around. Like something that seems simple, but I think Heat culture is just coming in with an attitude every day that you're trying to get better. You're trying to improve. You want to win every game. Like there's no throwaway games. You're going into every game like it's a battle, and you're looking to come out with a win. So I mean, I think more than anything, it's just being willing to outwork everybody.
Yeah, and that's why we the best, and we're always going to be the best, and we're going to win the championship this year. And I'm calling it right now.
Yeah.
And quick question, by the way. So you brought up UD. Do you have like a relationship with him? Like, has he gave you any advice or anything like that, or just has been just kind of respecting?
Yeah, no, I mean, he's been great. He was there my first couple years, summers and everything. And then last year he was still around. So I've gotten to talk with him. Have a little bit of a relationship. It's not like we talk all the time or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, he's been great, and he's always willing to take the undrafted guys kind of under his wing and just prepare them for what's to come, because obviously he knows better than anyone just how important those opportunities are and how few and far between they may be. So just making sure, like I said, that you're always ready. That's really what he really harps on the most.
And I love to hear that. And also, so obviously with your injury and stuff like that, we had a lot of young talent in the summer league. We won the championship. I used to play basketball, and at basketball, you have a love relationship with your the players, but also you realize some of them might be trying to take your job or compete, and that's just how life is. No
Yeah.
matter what job you're at, do you ever, does that ever creep back in your mind? Like, there's some young dogs out there that are fighting to get this two way. I'm on a two way. You're not on the standard yet, and I hope you are eventually if that that happens. But like, does ever that creep through your mind? Christopher just got his two way. We got Johnson and stuff like that. And and with the injuries, it does hold you back a little bit. So
Yeah.
like, have you been thinking about that? Especially with training. Like, I believe I've seen it. It's like 60 days away from the season, so it's about 2 months. Does
Yeah.
that creep in your mind a little bit?
I mean, yeah, I think it's only human to think about those kind of things. I mean, obviously, guys are always every year. Guys are always going to come in. And that's the goal. I mean, that was the goal when I first came in too. You're yeah, you're going to be cool with everybody, but you're also looking to take those guys' jobs at the end of the day. So, I mean, yeah, it's something that maybe you think about every once in a while, but really, it's just basketball. I mean, like you are, we're just going out there, we're hooping, we're just everybody's trying to get better, and then the chips will fall where they may. I mean, it's unfortunate, it's a business, so yeah, some guys, if I were to lose the two-way ever down the road, like you just get back up and you keep going, but. So yeah, I mean, I think it's something that you think about every once in a while, but really at the end of the day, personally right now I'm just trying to make sure that I'm getting healthy and that I can be as available as soon as possible.
I love it.
So, Drew, my question: growing up, who were some of the players that you idolized or maybe even modeled your game after? And also, the second part is when you finally got to the NBA level a few years ago, who were some of the players you were the most excited to play against?
Yeah, I would say growing up, I was a big Chris Paul fan growing up. I felt like he was able to run the team really well, and then also, was able to get his whenever he needed to. So that was really someone that I probably watched the most as a kid, I would say. Um, his years with the Hornets way back in the day, and then the Lob City Clippers and all those guys. So that was kind of the player that I probably watched the most growing up. And then, yeah, whenever I first got into the league, I would say, obviously, I was excited to just get to play or just be around, like you guys said, Jimmy and Bam, just being two stars that I was actually going to be there with. And then getting to learn from Kyle Lowry and things like that was also a great experience for me. And then I would say I was probably most excited to see like maybe Steph and Dame. Um, just the things that they do shooting the basketball, I think it's crazy to see. So I think those were probably two of the people I was most excited to see.
Now, what's your advice like to all the young guys coming up? Because we already know that college is very competitive. Then you have overseas in the G League. So, what is your advice to some of the young ballers who are trying to make it to the NBA or trying to go D1?
Yeah, I mean, I think my advice would be to figure out how you can impact the game. It may not always be scoring. Like especially at this level, like there's only certain guys that are gonna be getting 15 plus shots a game. And if you're not one of those guys, if you're not a lottery pick, like that's probably not going to be you. So figuring out different ways that you can have an impact on winning, I'd say that's the biggest thing. Being willing to accept a role, to try to be a star in that role, and then also at the same time still continuing to get better. Like you never want to settle, you never want to feel comfortable. Um, so be a star in your role, but also continue to put the work in. So when that opportunity does come, and you maybe have the chance to show something new, that you also have that as well.
And Drew Smith, I have a question. So, we love how you represent our Miami Heat and stuff like that. But so our supporters want to know a little bit more about you inside, outside of basketball. So, do you have like any hobbies? Like, I know a lot of people like fishing, play video games. Maybe whatever it is. Like, do you have any hobbies outside of basketball that kind of just clears your mind, distracts you from hoops and stuff like that?
Yeah, I would say I like to golf. Golf is definitely something that kind of, is what I would like to do to clear my mind, just get out there and, relax, enjoy it. Um, my wife and I have been picking up padel recently. And we've
What is
actually,
that?
it's pretty fun. Paddle, padel, however you say it. It's like the racquetball
Okay,
tennis
yeah.
mix type thing where you're in the glass. So we've been playing that a little bit recently. We've got out there with Jaime and his girl a couple of times. So it's been fun. So that's been something that we've been doing recently. And then every once in a while, I'll turn the game back on. Gosh, in college, I feel like I used to play it all the time, but I haven't played it in nearly as much here recently.
Do you watch football?
Yeah, I watch football. I love football. Yeah, when the NFL, I watch the NFL. I don't really watch.
Yeah, NFL. My
Basketball.
fault. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, NFL.
yeah,
Do you have a
but I
favorite
watch
team?
NFL. I really don't, honestly. I
Okay.
play. It's whoever's on my fantasy football team that year. That's probably who I'm watching. So,
Oh my goodness. You
Shouldn't you
do
be a
fit?
Colts fan? You should be a Colts.
I mean, yeah. If I had to pick a team, I always say the Colts. Just growing up, but honestly, it's not like I'm some diehard fan. I'm not gonna watch them all the time. But no, I do enjoy the NFL for sure.
Fantasy football is here though. So did
Yeah,
you draft your team?
I haven't.
Okay, okay. I was gonna ask who did you draft? I was because I know it's big right now. It's very very big.
Yeah, I have not drafted him, but I was really bad last year, so hopefully we can change that.
Listen, we're gonna have a great year for Drew Smith. Overall, no injuries. Let's stay healthy. I think you could play a huge impact for this Miami Heat team. And personally, when I look at this roster, I think you are that backup point guard. I mean, when you look at it, it's Terry and whoever else you're competing against. But I think you could play a valuable role with this team. And I'm super, super excited. I'm super excited for the season. My last question for the video would be like, is there a team or a player that when you was playing, how am I going to ask this? Do you may not like or, go back and forth? Like, I'm a big Russell Westbrook fan. I know I always hear Russell Westbrook. He's always going back at people. Like, he's always so have you got into that, like, a battle with somebody maybe on the court, maybe in practice? Like, who's that dog that pushes you to, be better or just want to make you compete and bust his in the game?
Yeah, I mean, I think as a Heat player, I think you automatically get thrown into like the Celtics rivalry. Just um, obviously, anytime we're playing those games, like it's just a little bit of a different level of scouting and just focus and all that kind of stuff. But I honestly I haven't played. I wouldn't say I've played enough games to really have like a specific rivalry with someone. As far as practice and stuff goes, though. Gosh, I would say Kyle used to frustrate me the most, honestly, because he's just he's been playing for so long and he knows all the tricks and he's drawing fouls on me and this and that. But at the same time, it also taught me how to be disciplined and how to guard somebody like that at the same time. So I mean, those are battles that you look forward to and that you appreciate and end up making you better for sure.
Yeah, I tend to agree with Trent's perspective in terms of just your role next season as a backup point guard. I think you're probably the only actual point guard on the team or true point guard, in my opinion. Like you do operate as a more traditional floor general playmaker, which is good. And then obviously last season before the injury, you were obviously shooting really well, like I mentioned earlier, from three. So like if you're able to obviously hit that three when you're open, but just get Bam and Jimmy and Terry and everybody in their spots, that's going to be huge. I think.
For sure.
So I think, yeah, like I think that the backup point guard role, should be achievable for you, hopefully next season. But my last question too, you mentioned the Celtics. So what are your thoughts just like on the team's ability to compete next year? I know the front office has always mentioned, injuries. Like we've never really had that full availability across the board with the team. Like there's always the mantra, we have enough, that Spo said, or run it back.
Yeah, for sure.
So the front office and Spo and Pat and all them have confidence. Like, how do you guys as a team have confidence going into next season? Because we know the Celtics are coming back with the same team. Paul George is now in the East on Philly. The Knicks are the Villanova Knicks now, right? With Bridges coming by. So it's going to be super competitive. Like, how do you guys feel you guys are going to do next season?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a lot of guys that get excited about just competing and get excited about people doubting us and thinking that just counting us out. I know that that's something that drives a lot of guys on the team is being counted out, being kind of pushed to the side. So like you said, I think like Spo said, we'll run it back. I think we're confident in ourselves, and like you also said, I think we did have a lot of injuries last year. I mean, I think injuries have kind of plagued them over the years, but I feel like even a little bit more last year, like with Tyler and Terry, and then Jimmy going down in the Sixers game as well. Like, I think we're looking forward to it. I think we're looking forward to the challenge. Like you said, the East is going to be really good this year, and so it's just going to be night in and night out, just trying to go out there and win games. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, you guys were the Heat were the fourth most injured team last season.
Yeah.
You still were 4 games from like third place or fourth place, whatever it was.
Like we were, for sure. I think we had some crazy number of starting lineups. I don't even remember what
30,
it was.
36.
Yeah, like 36
starting
lineups, and we're, like you said, down the stretch, a couple games go the other way, and we're sitting in fourth place, I think, going into the playoffs. So definitely looking forward to the season. Obviously, the East has gotten a lot better, I think, this summer, and so it'll be a challenge, but I think the team will definitely embrace it and be excited about it.
Yeah, we're excited to watch you guys next season and take advantage of the depth. Hopefully, that if we don't get hurt last year, the depth kept us afloat. I think
Yeah, for sure.
if we weren't a deep team, we wouldn't have finished 8th. We
No.
would have been 10th or 11th, right? So
Yeah.
like Jaime obviously got to step up, and different players got to step up. Kevin Love before he even got injured, everybody got hurt. Haywood, Caleb,
everybody at some point. Yeah.
Literally at some point, except for Bam, and I mean Jaime missed only a few, but
Yeah.
I'm excited to see the depth. Obviously, you're going to be a piece of that, adding to the depth, and then getting Josh back, and then adding Alec, and then of course we didn't talk about Kalel and the rooks.
Yeah.
That I'm sure you're excited to play with. But
yeah, definitely. They're playing open gym today. They look really good. So definitely, like you said, going to add to the depth, and I think those guys will be ready to step in.
Yeah, so we're excited, and we're excited that you were able to join us today.
Yeah,
so
for sure. I appreciate you guys having me. It's been good for sure.
thank you so much. And before we hop off, do you want to let the audience know if you have any socials or just anywhere they can find you online?
I mean, they can find me. They can follow me on Instagram. I'm not very active on any of the social medias though. If you follow me, feel free, but it's probably not going to be too intriguing.
All good. Thanks again, Martel. Do you have any closing words?
Hey, Drew, thank you again so much. Make sure that you guys like, share, comment, subscribe, and thank you guys for all the support.
Hey, one sec. I got something to say. Drew, we gotta get you back on, man. I really like your energy and vibe. I definitely think it was one of our best guests to have on the show. You know, and once again, I appreciate you. And let's win this championship. And Drew, one more thing: predict your stats that you hope for this upcoming season when you're playing for us.
Man, I'm hoping for games played, not stats.
Okay. Well, I'm talking. Okay, fine. I like it too. I love it.
No, man. I'm just looking to be healthy.
Okay.
Hopefully it's early. Hopefully by training camp. If not, I'm honestly just, I'm appreciative to be in this spot, and I think the stats will come if the opportunity comes. So just hoping that I'm ready whenever that opportunity does come.
Sounds good.
Such a Heat culture answer. I love that. Let's go. Thanks again.
Hey, no problem. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.